But my name is Jai Yoko. I'm the head of third-party partnerships at the Mechanical Licensing Collective. Here at the MLC, part of my role is curating these cultural conversations throughout the year. And one of my favorite months of doing that is Pride Month. As a member of the LGBT community, I feel it's part of my duty and my pride to always present to our community at the MLC a roundtable of LGBT music creators and professionals who can share with us about their stories, their music, their identity, their authenticity, and also can contribute to conversations about issues impacting the LGBT music industry. So today, I'm very excited to welcome our moderators and friends. Jai Yoko, come on screen, Jay. And Cameron Ljungkull. I'm sorry if I butchered your last name, Cameron, you can correct it.
That's perfect, Ljungkull.
Okay, perfect. So first of all, thank you both for agreeing to moderate this year's conversation. This is our 4th year doing Tuning Into Pride, the LGBT Music Industry Roundtable. We have an exciting group of speakers who will be joining you on screen in just a moment. But before I welcome our speakers, Jay, tell us a little about yourself.
Yes. First and foremost, thank you for having us. Thank you for this event. Appreciate everybody for coming today. My name is Jai Yoko. I am an artist manager and a mentor among a lot of other things in the music industry. My day-to-day is pretty much teaching people in the music industry how to collect their money and about their royalties and copyrights and how to make sure that they understand that there's a side where you can make money on this, there's a side where you have fun. When you put them together, life is a lot easier for you. So I'm super excited to be here today. I can't wait for this conversation. And again, thank everybody for coming through right now.
Thank you, Jay. Cameron, tell us a little about yourself.
My name is Cameron. You can call me Cam LJ. I'm a producer, photographer, creative professional in Los Angeles. I operate a studio here called Secret Spot DTLA. We do co-working for creative professionals and provide resources for musicians and artists and LGBTQ creatives.
All right, thank you both for joining us. Just one quick announcement to the group. One of our speakers, Tsunami Muse, was not able to join us today. She's under the weather, but definitely sends his happy Pride to everyone. So without further ado, I will turn the mic over to our moderators who will take it from here.
Well, good afternoon, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Thank y'all again for coming. So I think we want to introduce our panelists, and we can go one by one. We can let them introduce themselves. So let's start with 2 a.m. Ricky.
Ricky, I'll have you turn your camera on and turn your microphone on.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? I am 2 a.m. Ricky, pronouns he, him. Recording artist, songwriter, and I also do a lot of work around trans advocacy and building advocacy for the community through storytelling.
That's beautiful.
All right. Do we have Rich Bum?
What's up? Good morning, everybody. I am Rich Bum, hailing from Louisiana, born and raised, so I hold it down for the Dirty South. Let's see, what else did y'all want to know? Because I was listening, but I was multitasking because, I was representing for this, so I had to let the fans know that we're on here because, again, we're about to drop some valuable information. But, y'all get to know me more. Rich Bum.
Divinity.
Yo, my name is Divinity Rocks. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm currently living in New York City. I am a multi-hyphenate. I'm a recording artist. I'm a producer. I'm a composer. Many people may know me from having toured with Beyonce as her bass player and musical director for a number of years. I toured with Fantasia. I played on a TV show called Black Girls Rock that aired on BET a number of times. And on that TV show, I played behind everybody from Patti LaBelle to Erykah Badu. I am on the advocacy committee. I'm a co-chair of the advocacy committee of the Recording Academy New York chapter, where I am a governor. I'm also the executive co-secretary of the National Black Musicians Coalition. I just scored my first theme song for a PBS Kids TV show called Lila in the Loop, and my debut kids album was nominated for a Grammy in 2021.
Absolutely amazing things to hear. Tally, welcome to the panel.
I don't know why I had a feeling you were going to call my name. And I'm like, how does anyone follow that? You guys are all so amazing. I'm Tally. I'm a Florida girl born and raised from Central Florida. I'm an independent artist. I'm a songwriter. I also do vocal production and I'm learning how to produce as well. And yeah, I'm just very excited to be here.
Wonderful. We're happy to have you. Nikith?
Hey everyone, I hope everyone's doing well. My name is Nikith, pronouns she and her. I'm originally from North Carolina, but currently based in Los Angeles, California. I'm a rapper, songwriter, dancer, actress, and model, and I use my art to spread awareness and my voice for the LGBT plus community.
Kit?
Hi, I'm Kit Rice, pronouns he, him. I'm a drum and bass UK garage R&B artist from the UK. I've toured as a violinist for Ledra Chapman, Ed Sheeran, Tom Jones, Top Loader, and I'm a label owner, writing camp curator, and I'm talking to you today from New York City Antisocial Camp.
Super cool, kid. Super cool. Looks like we got a super diverse panel from all over the United States. Well, actually, kids from the UK, so all over the world, technically. So happy Pride to everybody from wherever you all are calling in from, and thank y'all again for being here. So I know we have some amazing questions for you all. Cameron, you ready? You want to jump right into it?
I'm ready. Let's jump right into it. I think we'll
do it.
start with some more like generalized questions so we can all kind of like, this isn't to anyone in particular. This is for anybody to kind of answer and kind of jump in, see how we feel. My first question for you guys is, how do you prioritize and promote LGBTQ inclusivity in your music or in your work as like a community or as an artist?
Guess I'll take the lead with that. For me, honestly, it's about being authentic, being true to myself. So I just put all of me on the table regardless of how or who they feel or think whatever. I don't even think about pretty much like their thoughts. I just go into it with my pure intentions and just give it my best and speak my truth. So I think that's how I handle that, just by just being truthful and honest, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
That's beautiful. That's incredible. I think authenticity is such an important part, like for us and for our community.
I can definitely follow Rich behind that because through my music, I just like to keep it real with myself, be authentic to my listener, and show my perspective of the daily things that I go through with relationships or just living my life. So yeah, just being authentic, being true to yourself.
Authenticity definitely makes life so much easier.
And people like to feel like, sorry, I ain't gonna cut you off.
No, you're fine.
But you know, people like to feel like they're not the only one experiencing that too. And some others like to experience like a different vantage point. So I believe that you're able to provide that, and also education for folks. Some people don't know, especially on the straight side. They don't really conceptualize a lot of things. So when they hear things, even in the music, they're like, "What is this true?" And it's like, you know, we have normal lives as well. You know, the relationships, heartache, it's everywhere. You know, everybody goes through ups and downs. So.
Absolutely.
I think that makes a lot of sense, kind of talking about those like ups and downs and the ups and downs that we go through, especially like as queer and LGBTQ folks in the music industry. I feel like this industry can be like such a male, like heteronormative dominated industry. How do you like navigate those challenges? How do you take, like, can you talk about a time that you've had to navigate challenges related to your LGBTQ identity in a professional setting? And how did you handle that to make that, or how did you learn from that experience?
I'll jump in on that one. So for myself, I navigated by focusing the impact that comes with having influence, especially as an artist. And so for myself, being a Black trans male, I walk into spaces where, whether it be a cis-led space or whether it even be sometimes be a queer space, there may not always be a perception of where do I fit in and where do I belong. And so making sure that when I'm walking into these moments, one, like everyone said, I'm authentically being myself. But two, I'm also introducing and not being afraid to educate others on what does it look like for those who are my supporters, those who do look like me. And when I walk away and 2 a.m. Ricky is turned off and the microphone is turned off, what do I need as a human being so that I can be my best self and show up?
I'll jump
And then
in too. You know, I think what everybody is saying is so true. When we walk into spaces and we are authentically ourselves, people have no choice but to respect who we are, because we walk into spaces like, I respect myself, so I expect others to treat me the way I'm treating myself. I've actually had some people online who may not have known that I was queer, message me in the comments and say, wow, I didn't know you were queer. I'm going to stop following you. And that really took me aback, especially in this day and age. I thought it was pretty immature. I thought that the music I was making and the message that I was putting out was resonating with this person, but perhaps because I posted a picture of my wife and myself celebrating an anniversary or something, they commented, "Oh, I didn't know you were gay. I'm gonna stop following you." And then they sent me a bunch of stuff about God and Jesus and things like that. And it actually kind of hurt me. It actually really hurt my heart, because I knew that they were missing out on an opportunity to experience the greatness that is Divinity Rocks, first of all, and the music and the message that I'm coming with. And they were doing themselves a disservice, but I had to let that go. And I had to just continue to be myself, be my authentic self, and be true to myself and be true to my audience. It's not like I was trying to hide who I was, but I was really taken aback by that response. And I think that it's a little, we've advanced quite a bit, right? I came out in high school, and this was a long time ago. I'm not gonna tell y'all how long ago that was, but I came out in high school, and it was hard back then. But I feel like we have evolved in time, and acceptance has evolved so much that people who are coming out today have a whole beautiful community that they can tap into, who can love them and nourish them and teach them. So I'm really excited about where we are, and I know there's so much more we have to learn, and so much further we can grow. But I'm feeling the love in the community, and feeling like we will get to the point where those types of comments won't even bother us.
That's so beautiful. And I think it really touches on that like adversity that we go through as LGBTQ artists, and like just seeing that. We do like a QT BIPOC open mic contest here, and we do it all across the country. And last year we experienced for the first time where someone was like, "Oh my God, why do you do this? This is like," they actually like wrote that we were discriminating against straight people. And I was like, okay, 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 but you know, I resonated with that a lot.
Certain people are crazy when they just can't get their ways. Divinity, I feel like you gave me goosebumps when you were speaking. It was so much power. So I actually want to ride the wave of that power and ask you all, is there a moment where you felt particularly empowered or proud of your identity as a queer person, and how did it impact you?
I'll go for that one. So recently I joined the LGBT Council for the Ivors Academy here in the UK. And that's a very new thing. When I was on the come up, there was no council for LGBT people in the music industry. And we have all shapes and sizes, all different shades of the rainbow, the gay rainbow, on the council. And we're here for anybody that needs us in the UK. And that fills me with a lot of joy and a lot of pride. Because as I said, if that had been around when I was on the come up, I think life may have been a bit easier and there would have been something to aspire to and to look at. So I know that the rest of the council are watching right now, so shout out to the LGBT Council for the Ivors Academy.
I'll piggyback off of Kit. I think a moment that I recently had that definitely feels proud was I recently released a single called Move, and it debuted on the iTunes top 10 and peaked at number 3. And so when that happened, became the first Black trans mask artist to reach that milestone. So for me, it was instantly like an overwhelming sense of community. Like we did it. It wasn't just I did it, we did it. And also being able to look at not only Black queer artists and trans and non-binary artists that are alive and thriving now, but also those from the past who have done such amazing work, but because of society, because of simple erasure, you know, they didn't live to see the impact of their work. But at 26, I'm honored and blessed to be able to. So yeah, it was a we didn't.
Absolutely. I'll jump in. I think I really felt empowered when I released an album called I'm Possible. And on that album, I wrote a song for my then girlfriend who I'm married to now. And it was called Question. And it was the first time that I really wrote and felt comfortable writing a song to my lover. I had never done that before. And I received so much positive feedback from all communities. There were cis men who would say, "Oh my God, I wish I would have written that written that song for my girl." And just so many people made me feel really comfortable in being able to be myself on record. I had been, using different pronouns for years before, but after the release of that song and after falling in love with this woman and marrying her, we met on the Beyonce tour, by the way. We I've just been able to be open, and there's something about love, right? Love does that for you. It allows you to be your whole self no matter what. And I think that despite there being some people who aren't ready for it, there's a large majority of people who will support that when they see that authentic love.
Yes. Yes.
I definitely would like to follow up after that. That's amazing. I would say one time that I felt empowered was recently I did a show for Riverside. And when I got done performing, it was a group of kids that came up to me and they were just saying that they were inspired. It just felt really good because I know when I was their age, I had people to look up to like Aaliyah and Missy. So just to see and the look in their eyes and their face that I inspired them just made me feel very empowered. And I'm just really thankful and happy for that. So yeah, it's really good to see all the age groups from all over, coming together, have a good time at Pride events and come together and living their life and want to be who they are.
I would love to jump in after that. I have to say, all of you guys are so inspiring, and just hearing all of the stories that you guys have to tell, like, it's just so beautiful, and I love being a part of this and everything. But the first time I think like recently that I have felt like super proud to just be queer and like, just be that who you are like on the outside and express it in your music. It was like the first time I put out a song that actually expressed myself being bisexual and expressing the fact that I'm queer and like women. And it was like the first time a lot of people that didn't know me personally, like it was just kind of that way of me expressing myself. I would never hid my sexuality from anybody, but I was never super open with it in my music. I think maybe sometimes out of fear, I have no idea. But that was the first time when I put out a song that was really expressing like who I am. And my sexuality, and it was received not only so well, but like I received messages from people who were like, I had no idea you were queer, and I've always been nervous to like sing about it. Or I'm like, younger kids that are like in their teens, like about to come out, and they like want to express themselves through their music too, but they were nervous and they had no idea that I was, and they look up to me as an artist. And like just to know people look up to you is one thing that's so fulfilling and crazy. And like just to see like people are like you inspire me, but to also inspire them to be themselves and be authentic and express themselves in their music and feel free to do that is incredible and is a big reason I think why all of us, you know, do music and are artists.
I think that's really beautiful. There is something about just like the authenticity and like being, you know, being yourself despite any kind of like adversity you come across, and finding those people in your community that look like you and are like you that you can look up to and be inspired by. And the further we go in this journey, the more of us there will be.
And I'm just going to piggyback off something. I believe I can probably say that all of us have felt like sometimes we just don't give ourselves enough credit, because you got to understand everything that we all do, each and every song, each and every move, it inspires someone. They may not just say it, but us putting our art out there, our heart out there, our vulnerability out there, our story, we have to give our own self that for inspiring ourselves to do that. Because if we never did it, it would never happen. So don't just take, you know, those quote unquote moments when people hit you up and say comments. Take every last one of them, because they're all part of our journey, all part of our story, and it's all big in the spectrum. Just think about where you came from and where you are now. You know, it started with one little song, and now, you know, things have added up. And man, so take all your points. Don't just take one. You know, don't take the ones that, like I said, I pointed out. Take everything, because you deserve it.
Gems are being dropped, flowers are being given, tears are about to fall soon. This is cool. I love this. So I think in this community, we always have to be our number one advocate, right, for ourselves. And I think that always starts with boundaries, right? So as LGBTQ artists, creators, queer, non-binary folks, sometimes it can be hard to like speak up for yourself because we don't want to mess up an opportunity or we don't want to miss out on something. How do you all set boundaries to maintain what is comfortable and safe for you in this industry?
For me, I got to be true to myself. So I don't really have I don't have boundaries like that. My only boundaries are my boundaries. So I don't worry about stepping on anyone else's toes. It is what it is, because again, people don't think about you. They really don't. You know, they're going to do what they're going to do, and it's going to be it. So I have to live my truth, and if my truth steps on your foot, I mean, it's not intentional, but move your foot if we got stepped on. So yeah, I don't really have that, because I feel like when you do allow those restrictions to happen, they hold you as a person and as an artist. They hold you back because you're thinking about other things, and again, people that's not going to even matter in the next second. So yeah, I don't have that. I'm raw. I'm from Louisiana, ratchet. We go. So.
I think it's important to you know, I have a good friend who says no is a love word. You know, no is definitely a love word. And there's a point in your career where you pretty much say yes to everything, right? Because you're really trying to get out there and get your name out there and get things done. But there comes a point where you have to create these boundaries, because after you've said yes to everything, you realize what you should say no to, because you've experienced all these different things. So now you know, okay, I don't want to put myself in that situation. I don't want to be a part of that thing. I know how to say, okay, I'm good over here and y'all good over there. I try to surround myself with the people who love me. I try to put myself in spaces where I feel safe. And those are my boundaries, pretty much. And no is I just want y'all to remember that. No is a love word. It's a love for yourself word.
And protection.
Yes.
All right, Divinity. All right.
For me, boundaries were definitely essential. Also, kind of taking a step further, where I do a lot of work with teams and organizations with building safety and harm reduction practices for queer creatives. So things like making sure that before you even step on set, your team has sent that introduction email, so they know your pronouns. They know how to respect you. They know what they expect when you walk on set. Making sure that on their call sheets, the same thing, everything is listed, so that when you the talent, you the artist, you the creative, come on there, that shouldn't be your problem to have to deal with, because they should be very well versed, very well educated, and then, like Divinity said, no is a love word. So I also don't have the issue with saying no to not only just gigs, but even partnerships sometimes. If an organization wants to work with me, but just yesterday they said something that was homophobic in the media and the press, then we got to have a conversation before I can agree to sign this dotted line. And either A, personally, internally, we'll have some diversity and inclusion training and conversations before we roll this campaign, or they'll find a new talent.
I can definitely follow up with that too. I would say knowing your worth is just very important, and not being afraid to use your voice and speak up. Um, that's very beneficial. And like you had said earlier, the word no, that is very powerful. I really had to grow to say the word no, because I used to say yes to everything. So now I have to learn to say it's okay to say no to protect your peace. Something better will come in the future. So yeah, just knowing your worth and saying no when it's right to say so.
I love that. I love that. Absolutely. Got to know your worth. Everybody, you set the tone for your own life. So what you make people follow the rules is what they're going to do. So definitely got to lead with that. So I've heard a couple people say like safe spaces, making sure that event places that they go to kind of know about everything ahead of time so they can come in as safe and as comfortable as possible. Do you all have any specific maybe strategies or resources that you found most effective when it comes to being in a community, whether it's booking or different opportunities to be able to make sure that you can authentically be yourself in these different arenas?
Repeat that once again, because I think it kind of like it's saying, but go ahead, say it again. Go ahead.
I'm gonna roll it again, right?
Yeah.
Being in queer spaces, we want to be safe. We want to be ourselves, right? Do you have any resources, any places that you know specifically where you can perform, where it's friendly, it's safe? Do you have any old opportunities, booking sites you may have went to, that way other people can utilize them as well?
No, I think that's a huge gap. Of course, everybody knows like where the neighborhood is in their city or whatever. But beyond that, again, there's no template for us. There's no roster, and it's hard to find people to connect the dots. So that's a big disparity within the community, because we're just starting to pull together resources, and people are just catching on. So venues are just starting to open up and realize the potential, and it just whole acceptance. So no, and I'm in LA, so there's a neighborhood and we have a lot of venues, but still those I can say, oh, that's gay friendly or open, that I can't. But I guess I don't. There's no way that you're gonna be able to find that realistically if you plan to travel throughout the world in US. There's always gonna be homophobes somewhere, and it's always gonna be tension. It's gonna be something. So I guess I never even thought about that, because I just understand the world that we live in. Even though it's more accepting, like the video we talked about earlier, like we progress, but there's still a ginormous piece actually that hasn't progressed. And that's where those negative comments come from. So, but to answer your question, no roster, no website, don't really know too many people to point me in the direction. Yeah, it's kind of scarce.
This is something that we're trying to build here in the UK, especially on the LGBT Council. There aren't a lot of safe spaces, and I'm actually starting to notice more not so safe spaces in regards to major labels. Now, after Little Nas X and Troye Sivan coming through, they're now, from queer people being shown the door at the audition based on their gender or their sexuality, we're now getting the complete opposite. We're getting, if you're gay and you're signing this contract, you have to be sexually explicit, you have to be showing your body parts, and we're trying to protect people from that. with our lawyers and advice that we can give them. So I think we need to create these spaces and for people coming through, because I agree there isn't a lot of them.
Yeah, I want to follow up with Kit. That's something that I've been working on. I'm based here in Atlanta, and so I have a community collaborative project called the Move Initiative, where we've kind of partnered a lot of different community leaders from all aspects, not only just entertainment, to try to figure out how we can provide that, not only just the entertainers with the resources for music, but for their livelihoods, mental health, reproductive justice, policy change, things of that nature. So if y'all ever reach out to me, I do have like different spreadsheets of directories of different places. One, as far as opportunities, is myxsy.xyz, the Mixie platform by Makita Nelson. They have different opportunities from music to performances to podcasts to sync, all types of different things that you can reach out to find to find resources. There's also GLAD. I've worked with GLAD as well. And so GLAD has a program called the Emmy Cohort, which right now is a group of Black queer creators. Yes, that platform is myxxy.xyz. But the Mixie platform. And you can go on there and you can find resources to different things. Move Initiative, if y'all reach out to me directly, book 2amricky@gmail.com. We have different resources. We also I work with from Lambda Legal to HRC to GLAD, with developing different programming workshops and conversations around building that inclusion, and then also resource guides. So yeah.
Yeah, Ricky, we'd love to have you post those like somewhere. So if you're watching this, you can kind of get access to all of those resources and push people your direction, so more people have like access and awareness to those resources that you put together.
That sounds amazing, man. That sounds so good. I'm also running songwriting camps as well. We're looking to do the first ever LGBTQIA plus only camp here in the UK, which will be writing towards people's projects and writing for pitch as well for bigger artists and just giving opportunities. So if you want to find out more about that, go to my record label's Instagram. It's Car Records, spelled KAR_records, and it's on Instagram. So we will be launching that camp soon, and hopefully it's going to be lots of fun and really productive too, and we'll get some good songs out there.
I know earlier this year we had presented the first LGBTQ Music Industry Conference here in Southern California, just because there's such a void in the industry for those resources, for us to have places like a songwriting camp that is dedicated to us, or like a music industry conference that's dedicated to our community. So carving up those spaces and creating more and more places for us to exist together as a community is really exciting, and I hope we see more and more of it. Kind of following up, I wanted to talk a little bit more about, I know 2AM Ricky, you had talked a little bit about your organization. Will you tell us a little bit more about that and your resources that you have there?
Yeah, and so Move Initiative is a new collaborative project that I'm on, and we are now about to launch at the beginning of July. It's work that I've been doing individually as an artist, just because I'm originally from North Carolina and I'm from Winston-Salem. And so where I'm from, it was a culture of, if you want a rapper, an athlete, or maybe someone who worked in like the spiritual realm, like a pastor, you didn't have really much community influence. And I felt like when it came to the queer community, we should have the same type of influencers. We should have the Killer Mikes, the Tips, the people who are able to be involved in our entertainment, but also be able to be involved in what happens for everyday community. And so that's what I, as 2AM Ricky, but also the Move Initiative, we focus on. Not only uplifting and utilizing my platform to make sure that voices and people are heard and seen, but also helping to curate spaces for other creatives, and helping other creatives to understand how to use their platform for advocacy, whether again it be mental health, reproductive justice, or whatever matters to them.
That's beautiful.
one organization that's based out here in Atlanta, although they are not a music, I will say music org, but they do a lot of community work, would be SNAPCO. SNAPCO. And so they do everything from criminal justice work to reform, but they also help with entertainment and creatives, Black queer creatives, and around Atlanta as well. Yep,
Can I
Snap.
just give a shout out to the ATL though? Because that's my hometown. You see, I'm rocking the ATL. I just want to give a shout out to Atlanta and to everything you're doing down in Atlanta. That's so amazing. Thank you for sharing all of that with us.
Yeah,
The
that's
A,
incredible work.
the A is definitely where it's at, especially for our family, if you would. So I feel like everybody has their own little story, if you will. So I want to kind of get into everybody. First of all, Ricky, thank you so much for not only having your movement, but sharing your resources with everybody. I think that was super pivotal, and I wanted to make sure that we had that happen. So now, again, everybody has their own story, their own resources. I want to tap in real quick, to a couple of folks. So it is June. So not only is it Pride, but it is also Black Music Month. So we got a win-win situation for some opportunities. So Nikith, I actually want to come to you and ask you about how do you navigate that intersectionality of your identity as a queer person and a person of color in the music industry?
Well, that's a good question. I just try my best in my songwriting to represent for our community, and my experiences in my music. Either that's what's been going down in my hood, or in my relationships, or like I said earlier, like in my daily life, living as a trans woman. Um, like it's been kind of like rocky, like in the beginning, just trying to be open, trying to push myself to be like, okay, it's okay to speak. Use your voice and tell you what you've been through. So that's something that I had to overcome. But I'm so grateful that I was able to work on my last album, Trendsetters, came out last month, and I was able to use my voice to say what I've been going through as a trans woman with relationships, love, and just building up my confidence and being confident who I am and know my worth in this industry.
Nikith, I know you're also an open mic contest winner at our QT BIPOC open mic contest. Will you tell us just a little bit about your experience performing and what that's been like for you?
Yes, performing was amazing, and just the community. There was so many talented artists that showed up to perform from all genres, with guitars, hip hop, pop, EDM. So it was just amazing just to have everyone like together, supporting one another. So it was an amazing experience. So if you're in the LA area, I definitely recommend a pull up and rock out on stage.
Um, Rich Baum, as a rapper, I know you have like a super interesting story, just with your experience as an artist and your history as like your journey into music. As a rapper, how do you challenge stereotypes and promote LGBTQ visibility in a genre that's historically been less inclusive?
Well, again, like I said, I just always stick to my guns because this is the thing. Regardless, people are gonna have their thoughts or whatever. So you have to go in just knowing that, again, I'm gonna do me regardless of the situation. And I came to let my light shine. So when you just focus on your purpose and more of what that you need to do as a person, all of the madness kind of dims out into the light. So I don't really like let it get to me because I'm just such a strong-minded individual. Like I'm living in my purpose and my truth. So I'm not gonna allow anyone to get me off path. So yeah, it's all about mind state. And again, like it is what it is at the end of the day. As long as I do my best and I'm living in my truth, that's the only thing that matters to me. Yeah. And the rest is gonna be the rest.
Rich Baum, I love your energy so much.
Yeah.
I want to pivot to you, Kit, as being a CEO and having a label. What are some ways you felt that you've been able to leverage your role as a CEO to create more inclusive spaces for the LGBT family?
Well, in my camps in London, the only thing that we screen for is talent. So we're an all-inclusive space. We have trans men, trans women, who have the most deep sense of emotional Like they can write songs so fucking well. And hey, yeah, basically we've had queer people from all over the country and Europe coming in and writing songs, giving them opportunities to write for people like Rihanna or Charlie Puth or Charlie XCX or whoever's looking for an album at that time through my publishers. And as I said before, like we're looking to do the first ever LGBT camp, which I think is going to be really amazing. I know so many drag performers and trans performers who I'm so excited to have them come through and write towards their albums. It just brings me joy. And it brings me a lot of joy listening to everybody today. I'm just sitting here smiling a lot. But yeah, that's me. That's me.
Kit, I relate to that so much. Like, as someone who spends so much time creating opportunities specifically in this space, I relate to that a lot. And like we're embarking on our first songwriters camp this July. So I feel so much synergy with you right now.
It's
I
the
want to
best thing
jump.
in the world. I love
It's
songwriting camps.
it's amazing. Like we do up until now, we've done like a weekly songwriters like club where we'll get a bunch of artists together and write every week. But stepping into like the camp where we can do things bigger and bigger is really, really exciting.
Yeah, and you're all staying in the same house, and you know you're there for however many days. You become a mini family, and then those friendships carry on for the rest of your career. I'm definitely addicted to that type of vibe. I've been to many songwriting camps. I've run 8 so far. I'm looking to do another 2 this year, and then do my first international one in Amsterdam at the dance music festival out there, ADE. And that's why I'm here in New York. I'm at a songwriting camp. So yeah, super addicted to just making music with lots of different types of people and hearing other people's stories. You know, you can sit at home and write on your own any day. The reason I go to songwriting camps is so that I can hear other people's stories and write a new type of song, you know?
I love that. I love that so much. Tali, I want to jump over to you. How do you ensure that your music is like your music and your public persona is publicly and authentically represented in your identity as an LGBTQ artist?
Those are really good questions. You guys always ask great questions. I just try to always just be myself. I feel like as someone who's queer and specifically like bisexual, I've experienced like biphobia. That's like a real thing. I didn't know it was a term, but it actually is, and it's a real thing that I've and many of my friends who are also bisexual have experienced, where we're not always felt like inclusive all the way. Like we don't feel like we're always seen as a part of the LGBTQ community from people that are, whether they're heterosexual or not. Like a lot of people just see it as like a phase, or oh, you just like guys here and then you like girls here, and it's this flip-flop. It isn't seen as like serious and real and an actual true identity that, you know, I myself and other people that identify as bisexual have struggled with for a lot of their life, to be, you know, actually taken seriously and, you know, not judged by even their partner can judge them for being bisexual. And, you know, there's so many misconceptions about it. And I think that was part of the reason why it took me a while to really be super public with like being queer and doing that in my music and all the things. And since doing that, not only have I felt a sense of freedom, but I feel like a lot of people that, you know, may have been hesitant to be very open about being queer or being bisexual, or have experienced that before, like now they feel like, you know, I want to be more open with that, and it's okay and it's accepting. And just surrounding myself with good people too is a beautiful thing. Having a community, having like really good friends that just love you and accept you for who you are, and is a beautiful thing. And a lot of my friends actually make music with me, so I'm able to create music with really great people that want me to be able to feel free to share who I am and my story and my sexuality and everything. So it just feels good now in this space over the last few years to be able to write music about that and to feel, you know, free to, you know, express myself in that way and open that space for anybody that I'm working with to feel safe to express themselves in that way too.
I love that you brought up bi invisibility and just like the bi erasure there. I feel like also I relate to that as someone who's like a bad gay, like not a gold star gay. I totally relate to that. And I think that's something that is it's really challenging.
Can I quickly add to that? Bad gay. My friend Beth McCarthy, she's a queer artist here in the UK, and she's just written a song and released it, and it's called Goodbye, spelt B-I. Honestly, just check it out. It's an amazing, amazing song. And what you were saying, Tally, like exactly that is the lyrics to the verse. So just check that out. Like it's so cool. It's called Goodbye, Beth McCarthy.
Ooh, I have to check that out. That sounds awesome.
We'll definitely put a link to that in the chats or in the notes as we can. That's wonderful.
I want to be a bad gay too. That sounds like so much. I want to be part of the club. So I want to open it up a little bit back to anybody who feels like they want to kind of answer this question, if you would. What do you guys think are some misconceptions about the LGBTQ individuals in the music industry that it should be addressed or that you would like to debunk today?
I think that there's an unsaid thought that everyone's experience is a monolith, and that's not true at all. Being queer is not a monolithic experience. Being gay isn't. Being lesbian, bi, trans, it doesn't matter how you identify, and everyone's journey is different. So just as there are some people who have been able to navigate the industry and have experienced much harm, there are also people who have navigated the industry and they've been able to be approached by labels that say, hey, we need you to conform your identity, and they're okay with that. And I think that one person's way of getting where they need to does not erase what anyone else experiences. And that's why we have to continue to have the type of conversations that we're having to bring those type of awareness, because that could be easily misconstrued.
Absolutely agree. Wow. I can't even say anything after that.
What was the question again?
The question was, what are some misconceptions about the LGBTQ creators, musicians, you're a label owner? What are some misconceptions that you would like to debunk or that you would like people to know that they're not right?
I'm gonna have a think about that.
I think in the political climate we're in right now, there's this misconception that members of our community are somehow predators, and we're trying to transform and turn everybody else into whatever it is they think that we are that's so awful. And I think that's really a misconception. We're really just living our own authentic lives, and we want to be able to operate inside of this society and live our own authentic lives without anybody bothering us. You know, I think I heard James Baldwin say this about being Black was, I don't want anything from you. I just want to be able to live my life inside of my community, and you don't come and bother me or try to take something from me. And I think that's a huge issue that we're dealing with. And I think it's because of everything that we're dealing with politically. We aren't living in this vacuum, right? As members of this community, we are living in this society, and we know very well what's happening in this society and how it's affecting us and how it threatens us, and it threatens our children, and it threatens the progress that we have made. And so as we continue to look to make more progress, we know that we got to fight this this insanity that's happening around our identities. And so I just wanted to put that out there because we are living in some really critical times on whether or not we will continue to thrive, and not just in the music community, because yes, we're all artists, but we're all part of this society. We're all members of this society, and we want to live happy, healthy, full lives for ourselves and for our children and for our loved ones. And it's going to take us really coming together and elevating our voices together and elevating our community and sharing with each other in spaces like this so that we can continue to thrive.
I relate to that so much, especially as we have the possibility of something like Project 2025 in our future. I think it's important for us to band together and create spaces where we know hey, we're here and no, like what you're saying is not accurate. And like, no, we're not a monolith. Like, we're not one thing. You can't like put us in a box, and we can't be silenced either. So I think that's really, really important.
And we're not a danger or a threat to your society. We're human beings with hearts who love, and we share and we cry, and we have families and community, and we just want to be treated as such.
And I just want to say, I know y'all, y'all all seem so nice, but I'm a little more. I'm nice, but I'm like, I get to the point a little ruthless. Yeah, I'll be talking about safe space. I'm like, take over, because that's what I'm on. I'm tired of asking folks, hey, could you do this? Could you bend this way? No, stop asking people to even to stop just being. Just do. I'm sorry to put it like that. Just do. Don't even think about, again, just safe space. No, regardless of the space that we're in, we're gonna make it safe. So I don't want that term to be localized to only, again, this area and that area, because that's what's been going on. That's been it. The neighborhood. Forget that. We came to take over. We're here. We're taking over. That's how I look at it. What we doing? What we doing, fam? What we doing? What we doing, y'all?
There's a protest chant that I really like, and I think it's from the 70s. It is, "We're here, we're queer, get used to it." Do y'all know that?
Yes. Yes.
Old school. We're here, we're
I
queer.
sure
get
do.
used to it.
Love it, love it. Rich Mom, I just want to say I really like not only appreciate the energy that you give, but I also work around like a bunch of rappers, right? And sometimes you have to have that energy to be able to command the respect. So I appreciate you because I'm here now like this, but in my community, I am you. You feel me? So I'm very much at it. What you just said? You said what about what just now? We're gonna fix this. Let's give you a lesson on how this goes and what you say and what you don't say, whether I'm around or not, for real, for real. But I love that you are an advocate for that, because for being, I think specifically on the rap, the hip hop, the trap side, it gets real. Like, and it gets crazy for real, for real. But being able to just command your respect and, like you said, authentically being yourself makes it easier for us to navigate. But also sometimes we gotta get a little crunk for them to be able to get the point across.
You can't keep asking folks and keep asking folks. They ain't gonna never give it to you. They ain't gonna never give it to you. They'll never give you respect. You have to just take your respect. Like I think that Divinity talked about earlier about respect. Again, respect is another term for, again, self-love. This is how much I love myself. But since I love myself like this, yeah, you're gonna treat me like this. You're gonna treat me like this where I'm at. I'm not gonna step down below. I'm not gonna step around you. I'm not gonna tiptoe around you, because we've been doing that. And like I said, we way past that. We got toddlers on phones. We got COVID babies. Look, y'all, we got to keep it moving. Let's keep this train moving.
I think Billy Porter said, "We just want respect for our humanity." And I love that. I love that a lot. I love Billy Porter. Love him.
This has been such an incredible conversation. I'm so glad we're all kind of able to gather in this space and talk about this. I think these kind of conversations are super, super important for our community, for our visibility, and for us, like in the music industry, to know that we have solidarity, like in our community, and not just during Pride Month, but during Black Music Month as well. Like that we're not just like out here alone, not just like in our rooms making music alone, that we can be together in a collective space. I want to close things out with a question. What advice do you have for other queer artists or other upcoming LGBTQ musicians and people in the entertainment industry?
Stay true to yourself, always. Be truthful in your lyrics about who you are and what your message is, and your music will be respected. It won't be loved by everyone, but it will be respected.
Take a risk on yourself. Never stop trying. Never stop going. Don't believe in people's opinions of you. Just only worry about your own opinion, and again, your purpose. Living your purpose, living your truth. And yeah, don't be afraid to say no. You know? And also, again, man, love one another. Love your fellow man that's next to you, for real. Support your fellow LGBTQIA XYZ ABC artists.
I think I would say to invest in yourself and learn this business. Learn the business of music. learn about these organizations that are out here to pay you, like the MLC, like the PROs. Understand how to read contracts, and just really educate yourself about this industry and the business of it, and to really believe in yourself and find those communities that support you. Get on stage as much as you can and perform and practice and be the absolute best version of yourself that you can be. Because when you're doing that and you arm yourself with knowledge and education, nobody can deny you and nobody can stop you from thriving in this industry.
Oh my gosh, that was so good. I was gonna talk
That
about
made me well up. Jesus.
I know. Literally, it's so like every time you speak, so powerful, and it's you say just such the most beautiful things. And on just piggybacking off of what you were saying, allow yourself to be seen. Definitely don't stay within, you know, your own comfort space. Get out there and perform and show your face around your city. Start making a name for yourself. Show up consistently on social media, because you could find so many supporters, and there is an avenue for your music. There's an audience for your music. They just need to know you exist. And there are people out there that are waiting to find you and waiting to fall in love with you as an artist, and you know, make you their number one like favorite artist. So it's just putting yourself out there, not being afraid to be seen, and showing up consistently in ways that are authentic to you. You don't have to be like anyone else. You don't have to make content like anyone else. You don't have to dress like anyone else. The most valuable thing in the world is that you are you, and nobody else can fill that space except for you. And shining your light encourages other people to shine theirs. So make that content, go live, you know, do the shows, all the things, make the connections, do the collaborative songs, you know, feature on other people's stuff, get your name out there, and your audience will build. Even if it's 200 views each video, it's going to grow incrementally, and before you know it, you're going to have super fans and be able to, you know, be a successful artist. As long as we just stay consistent, it's going to happen for us.
That is amazing. I would say be bold. Don't be scared to use your voice. Educate yourself about the business. Respect yourself. Support one another. Practice your craft with any opportunity you have, even if it's in the mirror, because that's what I be doing my hairbrush, dancing in the mirror. So practice your craft. Be consistent. And yeah, and just love yourself and just dream big. So if someone say no to you, it's say, okay, it's okay. We're going to navigate and pivot and find another way to get there, because it will come to you. Just manifest it. And you got this.
Before we close things out, I want to open things up for Q&A. If you have any questions, would you throw them into the chat or into the Q&A section so we can kind of take public questions?
And in the meantime, while we're waiting for these questions, can you all individually give us your social media so people can follow you and be able to support you? Whoever wants to start off and go first, that way you can be found.
Mine is at Kit Rice UK, and my label, as I said, is car_records. I'm on Instagram all the time. I always reply to DMs. So yeah, hit me up if you want to chat.
My Instagram is number 2 AMRCKY. So 2 in the morning, 2 a.m. Ricky. Make sure y'all check out my new single Move. It's out on all platforms. And if y'all are in Atlanta, I'm actually hosting an event next Thursday on the 20th at Frostology. We'll be celebrating Black queer creators. So, you know, come on, pull up.
Mine are at Divi Rocks, DIVIROXX, and at Divi Rocks Kids. I make music for kids, and I have a brand new single coming out called Celebrate on June 19th. But it's not just for the little kids, it's for the kid in each and every one of us. Because the one thing I do know about our community is that we really still connect with the inner child, right? And so we get to express that ourselves. And so please check out the single. It's called Celebrate. It's Black Music Month. It's Pride. It's about to be Juneteenth. So we got a lot to celebrate. And the song is banging, if I say so myself.
All All right, and as far as me, you can check out my IG at I am Rich Bomb. Latest singles that are out: "Let You Go," "Kia Ho." Shout out to Atlanta. Atlanta was a great time. All right, but Kia Ho, it's a great song though. It bumps. All Eyes on Me. That's another great one. You can find my music on all platforms, streaming services. Also have a studio. I'm located in LA, so if you're looking for a local place to record this while recording at home, or want to get up, make some music, hey, I'm here. But yeah, you can find me there, and also my next project, No Applause, will be out shortly. Unfortunately, I don't have a date, but I promise you, in the next couple months, it will be making its debut, and I'm super excited about that project. That'll be my second album. So yeah, so check me out again, Rich Bomb on IG, and you can find my music everywhere.
You can follow me on like Instagram, TikTok. Those are like the main ones that I'm on. Is Tally, Talii music. And yeah.
And you can follow me at official Nikith. That's official Nekith. I just released my new album Trendsetter last month, so you can go stream that on all digital platforms. Also follow my website nikith.com, and I got some more shows coming up, so just stay posted on my website. And yeah, let's go. Happy Friday.
All right. Also, so we have one question in the chat. This is a good one. I think it'll be dope. Who is your favorite queer artist?
George Michael.
Myself.
Yeah, I definitely was gonna say me, but Victoria Monet besides myself.
I love them all. Myself.
I would say myself, and also I love Saucy Santana. Gives me hype.
Of course, me. I mean, come on. But also Michelle and Degeocello.
I love you guys. And I love that you guys all said yourselves, because I'm trying to work on my confidence and my self-love. And that's some real shit. Putting yourself first, loving yourself first, like, yes. So I will say me as well. But I also really like Kehlani. I just like how vocal she is about, just everything that she stands for as well. She's just such like a powerful, just beautiful human being. And yeah, so I love her.
Shameless plug. My favorite one is Tally. I had a ride out to her last night. She's really cool. Nah. Thank you guys so much for you all's time. Panelists, I am Jai Yoko. I appreciate you all tuning in. Please feel free to follow me as well, because I'm trying to get all of you all's music links too. So Jai Yoko ENT on everything. Thank you all so much for your time, for your energy, for coming through. Cameron, thank you for being an amazing just resource. I've learned so much about you and from these couple of days, and I'm so excited to grow more with you.
Thank you guys for all coming out. You can find me at Cameron Ljungkull or at Secret Spot DTLA. We're out here if you're in Los Angeles or around. We've got open mics, we've got events and resources for you. If you need a studio or rehearsal space, come through. We're here to create safe spaces for LGBTQ folks. And I'm just so grateful we were able to be here at the MLC to have this conversation together.
Awesome. So we appreciate you all's time. Until the next time, happy Pride, everybody.